So today we'll be analyzing a scientific article that we should approve or modify in order to publish it in our magazine um, scientifically.
I think since our magazine, the Science Weekly, isn't as specialized as any other article, maybe we could keep the technical language in a low level since there are a lot of terms that the original text uses and many of our readers might not understand.
We might also keep the use of hedging as it is a scientific article and therefore all of the informations are not completely accurate or may happen in that way, so we should keep words like it can have or highly likely and like that.
It makes the text more friendly and easier to understand to our audience. That it's people that doesn't know a lot about science but are interested in the topic.
I also think hedging might be a good resource that we can keep since it gives us an area of mistake and we can avoid being judged if the results of this uh, research turn out to be false or do not turn out exactly as the text claims, so we can avoid lawsuits or anything that could incriminate us or says we are distributing false information, so it can also help us keep a safe distance from the absolute truth.
Yeah, I agree with you. This could help us prevent a lot of misunderstandings with our audience.
I think also the purpose of the article should be kept the same because after all it's trying to inform about medical advances and it should stay like that.
Okay.
I think maybe we could change the register since the register from the original article is quite elevated and many of our readers might not understand or may get a different idea from reading the text just like it is,
Yes.
since the original text was published for a more specialized audience and for readers who have a high understanding of the topic they are writing about.
Yes, originally the text was meant to be, well, meant for an audience that it's more like doctors and, and specialists on the topic. Well, our audience it's not doctors, it's common people, so maybe we could explain some terms and change other ones.
I agree, and I think maybe that's a really good alternative of explaining terms, and that may also give us the opportunity to keep some words, but only if we can explain them or give them some reason. If there are some words that are elevated and they have not a purpose for being there, maybe we could change them. But if they are critical for the understanding of the text, we could keep them, but also explain them or the meaning of the words in the text.
That takes to the jargon. In our text I think it's a little bit too complicated. So maybe we should remove it or completely or try to reduce the types of jargon that we use so that the audience can have a clear understanding without having to look up technical terms or things like that.
Yes, maybe we could. There are parts that I think we could like remove completely in terms of explanation when it refers to some of the studies or some of the how do you say it? The melanoma technical part, that I think that it will only distract our audience from the main subject of the article.
I also think maybe the jargon used or well, technical terms can maybe make the text hard to read from a general audience, since maybe they don't know what checkpoint inhibitors are or the
Spontaneous tumor regression.
exactly there are various terms that the text uses since it was meant then again for a more specialist audience, and maybe if we want this text to be read by a bigger or less informed audience in order for them to understand at least basically what this means, we could get a lot of profit from eliminating all the jargon and replacing it for words that they can understand more easily.
Yeah.
Even though we have the jargon and that is a little bit complicated, I think the organizational structure and maybe layout of our article should be kept the same, as I think it goes in a very good order for the reader to understand what the text is going to be about, and just remove the jargon and it will be fine.
I agree.
I agree.